Hey guys, it's Ed from East West Bushcraft YouTube channel. I'm out here today in the woods and I thought I'd just do a short little bushcraft basics using a Ferrocerium rod. How to use a Ferrocerium rod on some plain dry wood. So not using any birch bark or any fat wood or anything else, just plain dry wood on how to start your fire with it. Ferrocerium rods are really popular with us in the outdoor community. They're quite reliable, they're quite hard to break. So they're a very good piece of kit. They chuck out a ton of sparks. All you need is a nice 90-degree edge or sharp edge to scrape against it. I have this little steel piece here. You can use the back of some knives if you've got a nice 90-degree edge, and also stones and other things like that. So we'll jump ahead and assume that you've got your Ferrocerium rod, and we need to get the wood now. This one's very mossy, so we'll have to remove that. It's split in half, as you can see, it's very dry in there. So we've collected some dead twigs. On the outside they're damp because they've been exposed to the elements, but the inside will be nice and dry. So all we want to do when processing this down is we want to either remove the outside and or expose the inside. I'll just take my knife and remove some of the outer damp bark. So now what I've done is remove the outer bark, that's the inside. This is all dry now, and it feels dry. You can see it's not damp as well, but this is all dry on the inside. Down here is a bit wet, but I don't need that bit. With our sharp knife, what we do is we start creating some curls. Now this is a skill on its own that you will need to practice, but in general all we're doing is increasing that surface area. And when we get to an amount that we want, what we can do is we start to really increase that surface area. We do some really fine stuff. Just go nice and light, which is as small as possible. Having a nice sharp blade does help with this. You can also use the 90-degree spine or something with a nice crisp sharp edge. On knives we call it a 90-degree spine. That's nice and sharp, that is. And I could use that to scrape the wood. It kind of makes some curls there. It's better with different woods and different seasons wood. Again, here's the other piece of wood I collected. I can not split this one and just carve off the outer stuff. You really want to make sure it's dry though. And splitting wood is best. Again, all we do is start creating some curls, and so on. Now we get our Ferrocerium rod. Here's my Ferrocerium rod, it's got an antler handle. I have a striker, which I can use to strike. Also the back of my knife has a 90-degree. You could use the blade. Don't recommend it because obviously you're going to blunt your blade. But the back of the knife also has, you've got two methods. You can either push it towards it or you can pull it away. General method, what we're going to do is those sparks, we're going to char the wood and heat the wood up. Eventually one of those is going to ignite it. We'll char the wood. As you can see, it's starting to smoulder. There we go. Ignited. So yeah, that's my video on how to make fire using your Ferrocerium rod and on dry plain wood. Obviously when you're doing this, try and do this on like a hard surface, maybe like a split dry log or a back of a metal plate or bowl or something like this. Makes it a lot easier having a sturdier surface. I did mine on my kneeling pad. It will damage my kneeling pad, it'll burn holes in it and stuff like that. But yeah, try not to do that. And yeah, if you like this video, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching.